Welcome back, Tribe. Got an interesting one here to talk about. It's the AI stuff and what's really going on. And good news is bad news, actually. And so we'll just get into it. I think a lot of people are walking around with this little story in their head, right? That their job is safe. Right? Everybody tells themselves, "My job is safe." This is like one of the things I hear all the time. It's a little comfort story. My job is safe. I'm good. I got a degree. I got a skill. I sit at a desk. I move numbers around. I write emails. I put the thing in the slide and I send the slide to the guy, and then the guy sends it up. I'm fine. That's the story a lot of people are telling themselves. And I want to tell you something about that story specifically. The story is from 2022. You're running 2022 software in a 2026 world. And you don't even know about your operating system and how out of date it actually is. You're like the guy walking around with a flip phone going, "What do you mean I can't get apps on the phone? It's a phone, isn't it?" Yeah, big dog, it's a phone? Sure thing. But it ain't a phone anymore. The game moved, and you're the one that's still playing the old game that they have. And here's the thing I actually want you to feel, because everyone comes at this all doom, all gray. The robots are taking over. The jobs are going to be gone. Oh no, we're cooked. Okay, no. Listen to me. This is seriously the best news that you've gotten your whole life, and you're too scared to hear it as good news. The door on the cage is closed, yes, but you were already in the cage the whole time. That's the part that nobody says. You were in the cage, the W-2, the salary, the direct deposit every 2 weeks, the thing your whole identity is built on. That was never your asset. That was never security. That was the most fragile thing you owned, and you thought it was the strongest. Let me explain how this actually works today, because people don't really think this through. Your paycheck is not yours. You don't own it. You rent it. Every 2 weeks, you release your survival from a company that can end the lease in a 30-second meeting with a guy you never met from a department that you never even been to. That's your asset class. That's the thing that you built your mortgage on, a car note on, a marriage on, kids on. So you stacked your entire life on top of an asset somebody else controls and can vaporize on a Tuesday. And you call the guy starting a business, for example, risky. You call him reckless. Bro, you're the reckless one. You went all in on one position, like a single stock, no hedge. And a company that issues the stock is actively in a meeting right now figuring out how to delete it. That's the most leveraged, most fragile, most exposed bet a man can make. And they sold it to you as the safe one. They sold you the cage and they told you it was a fortress. Now, here's what is happening in 2026 and beyond. And I want to walk you through it because, the smart guys in the chat, in the comment section later, whatever, are going to probably be typing something of like, well, actually, some of the layoffs are just companies cost cutting and blaming AI for cover. Yeah, I know. You're right. That is actually true. Some of it is that. They call it AI washing currently. The company wanted to cut jobs anyway, and AI is a nice, clean excuse, so the stock goes up instead of down. That's actually real. Companies are doing this, but that doesn't help you. You understand? That makes it worse, because now you got two jobs, or I should say two guys, coming for your job. You got your actual AI that does your tasks, and then you got the CFO who will use the word AI as like a magic word to delete you, whether the AI can do it yet or not. Both of them want you gone. The wrinkle doesn't save you. The wrinkle just means there's two predators in the water instead of one. So which jobs? Let's actually do it. Let's go through it, because let's be honest, you're probably sitting there going, but does this mean me? You want to know if it's you. Okay. The honest truth, the back office is gone. The processing, the data compliance, the data entry, the guy who takes things and puts it in another system, the accounts payable, the report that gets generated and read by nobody, that's the first to go. And it's already going in a bunch of places. That was never a job. That was like a human doing what a script should have done. And now the script can do it. You knew that, by the way. You always knew that. You sat at your desk for how many years going, a monkey could do this. Yeah, dude, turns out not even a monkey. It's just a model. So again, the mid-tier knowledge work, the middle, the manager who manages the managers, the project guy who moves the project from one guy to the next guy, the analyst who makes the deck that says what the other deck said, the whole soft middle of the conversation, the part that's just communication and coordination, the part that's just moving information from one place to another and adding a little flavor, that's the meat of it. That's the bulk of who's getting eaten right now. The salary desk guy making 70, 90, maybe 110, who's thought of 110 grand made him untouchable. 110 grand makes you a target today. 110 grand is a line on a spreadsheet that some VP is staring at going, what if this line was zero? You're not too valuable to fire. You're too expensive to keep. This is how they think. Those are different things. And you got them confused your entire career. Like another one, the generalist coder. This is the one that hurts because this is the one they told you, or at least everyone else, to run to, right? Remember, learn to code. Learn to code was trending years ago. That was gospel for the last, 10 years? That was the lifeboat. Everybody needs to learn to code. And then the kid who learned to code, the generalist, the junior, the guy who does the normal app, the normal feature, the crud, the thing, he's getting compressed flat right now. Young engineers under 26, that entire cohort, by the way, the door's barely open for them. They did everything right. They did exactly what the boomers before them told them. They went, got the safe, future-proof skill, and then the future-proof unproofed it while they were still in school. That's the cruelty of following the rules. The rules are always one war behind. And then what's safe, right? Because something's safe, right? So the guy's always wondering, there's a tier, there's like tiers with all this stuff constantly. The guy building the actual models, the guy doing the deep research, the safety, the infrastructure, the thing under the thing, the tippy top of it, the once in a million specialist, for example, that's still safe for now. And I want you to hear the for now, and I want you to hear the other part too, which is this ain't you. Be honest. That's not you, and it's not me either. I'm not that guy. I'm not the generational genius building the frontier. So if your plan is to climb that one tier that's safe, you're trying to win a foot race against 100,000 people for 1,000 chairs, and the chairs are all disappearing around you. That's not an exit ramp, dude. That's basically we're going to go back into the same cage, the same race. So what is the actual door? Because I told you this was good news, and I did actually mean it. Well, the door is this. And I almost don't want to say it because it kind of sounds too simple, and your brain's going to reject it for being simple, literally. Your brain wants it to be complicated, so you have an excuse. We all do this. The door is the exact thing that's deleting your job. Just handed you the entire toolkit. You used to have to be rich to be able to do this. Do you understand what just happened? They didn't just take from you. They actually gave you something too. While they were quietly deleting the wage, they dropped the price of building your own thing from $250,000 to $100 a month. And almost nobody noticed because everybody was too busy crying about the wage. Think about what it used to cost to start something real. You needed the coder. That's a salary. Or 50 grand for the build. You needed the lawyer for the docs, the accountant for the books, the designer for the look itself, the marketing person to make it not look like garbage. That was a wall. The wall is why most men never started. It wasn't fear, dude. It was money. The wall was real. You needed capital to even attempt it. The wall is now gone. It's gone. It came down this year, literally, and probably last year if you're a bit smarter on the coding side. And it's laying in rubbles right now. And you can keep over it, or step over it, excuse me, for the price of a couple video games or a month of slop delivery. A guy can have an idea on a Tuesday, have the website, the logo, the legal skeleton, the whole front of a real business sitting in front of him by the weekend, alone, no team, no degree in it, never done it before. That's not a someday thing in the future. That's a right now thing. People are doing it right now, today, this week, while you're deciding whether it's worth $20 to learn the tool itself. It is worth it, bro. It is worth it. That's the question that you should stop asking yourself. That question, that little cost analysis you're running on the $20, that's the cage talking through your mouth. So here's the trap closing. And here's why it's actually the door. Same event. One event, two ways to see it. The corporate cuck, the guy who hugs the W-2 like a teddy bear, for him, the door slammed and he's locked in and the walls are coming in and the layoff list will probably have his name on it and he doesn't even know it yet. He's still doing the same thing, still looping up Monday morning for a boss who's pricing his replacement. For him, it's a horror movie. For the guy who already saw that the wage was never safe, who looked at the two hands at the end of his arms and went, those are the only asset I actually own. My hands, my habit, what I do, 6 a.m., 12 in the afternoon, midnight, doesn't matter. For that guy, the same exact event is the greatest gift in the history of getting out. The tools showed up at the exact moment that the job stopped being real. That's not a coincidence to be scared of. That's a window, and windows close. You don't even have to quit anything, by the way. That's the part that the scared guy uses as his last excuse. Oh, I can't just walk out. I got bills. Nobody told you to walk out. Keep the dead end blessing. Okay? The job pays the bills. Fine. The job is a blessing. It's a dead end blessing, but it pays the rent. So keep it. It's what you do after the hours, after you clock out. The hours you currently donate to a screen and a default skin and a flurry at midnight, those hours are the only thing that's actually yours. That's the gold. That's where the whole second life gets built. You're going to struggle, bro. You're already struggling. Okay? Think about that. You're already going to struggle. You have to get that through your head. You are going to struggle either way. The wage guy struggles, the broke guy struggles, the rich guy struggled to get there. There is no version of this where you don't struggle. The struggle isn't optional. The only thing that is optional is what you're struggling towards. So struggle toward the door. Struggle building the thing instead of struggling defending the cage. Same sweat, completely different room that you end up in. And the timeline is going to be, what could you say, longer than you want. It's true. It's like there's no quick get rich quick schemes. I'm not going to lie to you. The first thing that you'll think about 99% of the time is going to flop. The second one will probably flop too. And you're going to whiff, dude, and you're going to keep whiffing and you're going to whiff again. And then the whole time some guy in your life is going to be standing there going, see, not everybody can do this thing. Not everybody can. He is right. Not everybody can. He just doesn't realize he's describing himself. He's the not everybody. And you don't have to be. You whiff and you keep your job. And you whiff again. And you learn the little thing. And you do it again. And one of them barely doesn't flop. And then one of them hits. And when it hits, dude, the same guy who said not everybody can will tell everyone you got lucky. Let him. You'll be reading from the comment section somewhere in a place he'll never see. Somewhere he'll never be able to see. The cage door closed, guys, and it's a good thing. It should have never been open as the only option anyways. That was the scam the whole time. That the cage was the safe place and the open field was the dangerous one. They had it flipped. They needed it to be flipped. That's how the whole thing runs. They need you to believe that the lease is an asset and the field is risky so that you stay inside paying rent and never look up at who's holding the keys. Look up. The field's right there. It's wide open. The walls are down. The tools are cheap. The only thing left in the cage with you is the AI. That's it. And it's going to do your job for free. And a CFO with your name highlighted is coming for you. There's nothing to protect there. There's nothing left to lose by walking out. So walk out. The door's not even locked from your side. It never was. That was the trick that they were playing on you the entire time. So it's not doom and gloom. Oh, AI job losses. Oh my God, like 7% of graduates today are being hired compared to like COVID. 7%. Some insane number. Like, none of that matters. We're trying to pigeonhole these kids, and by extension ourselves, up in here in the middle part of management or upper part or wherever you are within your structure of your company. It's coming for all of us. Some guys are safer. It is true. Some guys are safe, dude. Like, it's not going to crawl under your house. It's not going to lay pipe. It's not going to do that yet until the automatons are made and they're actually functional. So, okay, the guy buys himself some time, but we're all on the clock. And there's a massive window of opportunity, like I mentioned earlier, a gap right now where you can build the thing that you've always dreamed of building because you have an army of specialists for as little as $20 a month. For $200 a month, you probably get infinite use with the best model and the smartest, and it works completely different than the free shit. If you still tried the free stuff and then you brushed it off as garbage, you are woefully misinformed. The premier frontier models that you pay good money for behave completely differently, and their ability to build things for you is on another level, and they constantly get better every month. This is literally the worst it's going to be. This is the dumbest it will be today. It only gets smarter, much more capable. So that's how I built my business. I worked on the side, not with AI, but I worked on the side after getting off of work, my job that paid my bills. Then I went into the golden hours of working for myself, until working for myself started paying as much as my salary, my shitty wage, where my boss was making hand over fist, and I was left with crumbs after the IRS. And that was the goal, the deal that we all have. Here's a little bit, enough to keep you coming back, but not enough to set you free. I got sick of that. And I think most men are sick of that shit. And in the world today, especially if you're a young man starting off, you couldn't even be sick of that shit because you never had the opportunity to get in the door in the first place. You quite literally graduated in debt. The ladder got cut up while you were trying to climb. So the last rung, when you were reaching for it, AI said goodbye. All your entry-level jobs pretty much dead. And they're not going to come back. If anything, more are going to keep getting chopped. So you got two ways to look at it. Like I said, it is a blessing in disguise. The universe, God, they're always working some weird way like that, dude. It might seem like doom and gloom, like it's all over because your dream of going to school and getting a job and working at a company like your daddy did, that was the goal you had. And maybe that's not the life you were meant to live. Maybe these tools are put in front of you at this exact moment because it is your moment to set yourself free. If you just start thinking in that framework, I think you'd be very, very surprised and probably shocked at what could be accomplished. So anyways, I just wanted to leave you guys with that because there is a path. We're at a fork in the road. You could choose to get snipped by your job and get blindsided, or you could choose to free yourself. So it's just all it is a choice. And this opportunity won't last forever because these $20 a month plans, these $100, $200 a month plans, whatever they cost, they're subsidized heavily. These companies lose thousands of dollars on these. It's just because it's a new product and they want you to use their product very badly. Once this matures, we're going to be in for a real dystopia where only rich people can afford good, smart models, and the poors will be forced to use whatever the free models are, which means you will never be able to compete with them. That's a whole nother episode into the future economy, but that should be the part of the dread that I instill in you. It will be a tiered system where the rich win because their bots will be smarter, cheaper, faster, and they'll be able to outproduce you and any idea you have for far less margin. That day is coming. So build your escape now. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, we'll see you guys on the next one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Appreciate everybody that's been getting merch. Everybody in the private community, looking forward to speaking to you on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And likewise, guys, go touch some grass. Go think about some things. Maybe start going a different direction in life. Take care.